Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Shooting the with Yankee. As always, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Today, I want to know what you all think about the ATF possibly being combined with the DEA, just rolling two together. Instead of having an ATF that's separate, it would just become part of the DEA. And I want to know what you all think about that. Good idea, bad idea, and why. Now, I will start us out as usual. Since most people have already weighed in, I don't like to influence people's opinions. I'm going to say it's a terrible idea because the ATF would still exist. The employees would still exist. The only difference is now they would have the army of the DEA at their disposal and use the DEA tactics. So when you're being suspected of having an illegal item or doing something illegal on the ATF side of things, instead of sending 3 ATF agents to your door armed, they'll send 20 drug enforcement agents to your door armed and then take your corpse out and determine whether or not you were actually violating the law or not, because that's pretty much standard DEA procedure. So I think it's a horrible idea. I think it consolidates government power into one place and gives them an even bigger army. And do you think they're going to fire all the people they have at the ATF? No, they're going to turn them into DEA agents, DEA goons. So it'll be even worse. So that's a ridiculous idea. Don't like it at all. It's an authoritarian, fascist bullshit idea, but so many people on the right are falling for it. And it's sad to see. It's the same ones that love the police, probably. So it's sad for me to see how many people are falling for that. But unless you're falling for it, and I see that in the comment section over here, and then that's fine. But speaking of which, let's get over here to the comment section and see what's being said. Mikey D joined my WAP, so he move over everybody that's already in there. Make room for Mikey D. I think he wants to watch videos early. That's the really big advantage of being a member of the channel. Well, I don't know if I'd call it an advantage, but you usually get to watch my daily videos the night before, because that's when I put them up late at night, the night before. So if you want to watch them in the morning, you can watch them in the morning instead of waiting until 4 o'clock or whenever they go live. And you get that little icon after your name in the chat, so I know you're special. Practical Bacon, ATF needs to be dissolved, not rolled into the DEA. I agree. Well, I don't know about dissolved, but firearms need to come out of there. I mean, I'm sure there's still things that could be enforceable for alcohol and tobacco. You don't want people selling minors and all that other stuff, but firearms, really? I don't think it needs to be in that same group. John Heasley weighed in and says, that's a terrible idea for many reasons, but the biggest one is it gives them more jackbooted thugs. They already have a hit squad. Now they'll have a much bigger one. Much bigger. I guess all the drug enforcement guys are, got less to do nowadays since marijuana is legal, and they can't just go roust harmless people for having marijuana. So now they want to go after people that are suspected of having a barrel that's a ½ inch too short, or a magazine that holds 2 rounds more than it should. They got to have some heads to bust. They can't just sit around doing nothing, or they'd have to start laying them off. Practical Bacon said, get rid of the DEA as well. I don't know about the DEA. I just don't like the whole war on drugs thing. Adults should be able to do what they want to do. Peter D said consolidated agency, consolidated enhanced charges. I think that means he's against it. I think. Pretty sure. But he's got Lyme disease, so he could be having an episode. J. David Martinez said, did you see the new Smith & Wesson mountain guns? Yes, it did. Not interested in all of them at 22. The 10 millimeters interesting. If you were going to switch to a 10 millimeter carry gun, which I did a video about recently, it is a no lock model, 10 millimeter. So I wish they would develop a way that didn't need moon clips, but kind of like Charter Arms did. They made a 10 millimeter revolver, and it was 40. I think it was 40 caliber revolver that didn't need moon clips, and it seemed to work pretty well. So I wish they would do that for a 10 millimeter gun. Edgar Cortez says, always a little gun talk always slips into our program here, other than what's planned. Edgar Cortez says, I think the ATF should be reorganized under the DEA. It would put salt on their tail. I don't think it would. I think it would just give them a bigger enforcement agency. Because right now the DEA, like I said, is don't got nearly as much to do. So they got to find something to do. They got to find some heads to crack to justify their paychecks. Sean Bain, yes, husband to ATF. Make between DEA and DBI. I don't think that's how it would work, but that was Sean Bain, by the way. Edgar Cortez, and then Sean Bain chiming in there. Then we got Micah D. He said both should be abolished. I would agree with that better than combining them, I'll tell you that. Or at least just combined and then get rid of the war on drugs, get rid of the gun part of it, and just worry about alcohol and tobacco, I guess. And what are they worried about alcohol? I don't even know why they're regulating alcohol. Grocery stores can sell it in most places now. So what are they regulating alcohol for? And tobacco, I mean, if you don't know tobacco is bad for you, it's not like they ever prevented the tobacco companies from doing anything evil. They just made sure they got all their taxes off of it. It's pretty much all they did. So more you think about it, the more you talk about it out loud, less likely it seems we need either one of those agencies. John M. Mandrick said, absolutely not. ATF was a part of the Treasury and created by Congress. Not that the administration cares. It's breaking the law. That's a different and totally different aspect than most people are looking at right now, I would say. Leave it up to John M. Mandrick to actually come up with something, to actually research and know something, when the rest of us just want to scream about things we're afraid of. Gummy Wuzzle, not sure I get what's at stake here. I don't think most people do. I know I don't fully grasp it, but I don't like the implications. I'll say that. Jeff Patterson, he's an elder of the Church of Phil. Don took it matters just deck chairs Titanic. I think he's saying it doesn't matter. It's just rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic is what he's saying. Kenny Donaldson. This merger is the worst ideal ever. It's a bad idea too. So yeah, I agree. It is a bad idea. It just gives more power. It just gives the ATF a bigger army that was sitting around twiddling their thumbs since drug laws have gotten a lot more lax lately. Since the ATF was cracking down on drug enforcement, people being able to seize property that was greater than the fines or penalties for the actual drug offense, we got to find something else for them to do that's lucrative. Jumpy Killer Ox talked, but he didn't say nothing. He donated and didn't say nothing. Mark Lack says, add only the alcohol and tobacco to the DEA. Well, like I said, the more I think about it, I don't even know if we need alcohol and tobacco. Nor do we need the DEA. Shouldn't law enforcement just handle drug offenses? And plus, shouldn't all adults be able to put whatever drugs in their own body they want? It's like people like, oh, these people getting killed from fentanyl coming from China and coming from Mexico. Oh, well, I'm sure it's not our best people. Anyone dumb enough to be taking fentanyl they bought on the street. I think the only thing drug enforcement agencies should be doing is making sure drug companies produce safe drugs and maintain evaluating how they're making their drugs and making sure they're doing it properly and that they're maintaining proper dosages and people aren't dying from it. That's what DEA should do. Gummy Wuzzle, we got a couple more people weighing in here, then we are done. Gummy Wuzzle is one of the last two here. And he said, the next step to eventual martial law, expect more. Yeah, I don't like this whole step at all. I don't like consolidating power. I don't, because here's the thing. If you take like 4 agencies, you combine them all together, not only do you make one great big powerful agency with a full army, but you make the leadership smaller. So it's only got to be 1 or 2 bad apples to say, hey, we need to take some of these rights away from people because they're getting dangerous. So it only takes, instead of having to corrupt 4 agencies, you just have to corrupt 1. Then people lose. Mark Lax is weighing in here. He says, then minimize and get rid of the firearm group. Well, they ain't going to do that if they roll them over in the DEA. They're not changing. They're not taking any responsibilities away from the ATF. They're just giving them a bigger army and putting them under the same leadership as another group. Like I said, less people you have to corrupt to turn the agency against the people. So you only got to have one director that's willing to sell out to the 1% instead of having to have 4 directors that are willing to sacrifice their country for profit. So not a good idea. Got one last person weighing in here, and it is Mark Lopez, and his kisses taste like tacos. Not that I know. Worst merger since Coke and vanilla. You take that back. Vanilla Cokes are good. If you go actually out to some place that actually serves fountain Coke and puts true legitimate vanilla syrup in it, you know, that stuff's freaking awesome. I seriously think that's one of the main contributors to me having diabetes, because I loved vanilla Cokes. Anywhere we went somewhere, they had them. We used to have a place called Billy Heartbeats around here, and it was like an old 50s diner kind of a thing, a chain. And they did that, you know, regular Coca-Cola right out of the fountain, put vanilla syrup in it. And oh my God, it's good. It's so fucking good. I'm almost getting a chubby thinking about it. At least I felt something wiggle. I'm not saying I will be able to fully commit, but I felt a wiggle. But that's going to be it for us today. Thanks everybody for weighing in. I appreciate your opinions. I don't get the count while I'm doing this, so I don't know. Did more people? I think it was far more people were against the combining it than there were for combining them. So I think maybe people in here are on the right track. And we had a couple people like, I don't know. My gummy was one. I don't know. But like I said, at least it wasn't a bunch of, yeah, do it now. Oh, yay, do it. Like we're seeing a lot of in more conservative circles. So thanks everybody for weighing in, like I said, with your opinions. I appreciate it. And how about you all out there in YouTube land? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you want to weigh in on one of these topics in person, we do live chats every day at 6 p.m. Every day at 6 p.m. Pacific time, there's a place you can come talk to like-minded people about common interests. And you don't have to just do the first part, the shooting the shit with a specific topic. You can weigh in on that and then stick around for the open chat that we do immediately after in the same broadcast. So after I sign off from this, stick around. We'll be doing the America Guns and Freedom podcast where you can ask whatever question you want. So for now, I'll say that's it for today as far as shooting the shit is concerned. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you come back again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.